614 Startups Nation. What's up? What's up? What's up? Welcome to the first 614 Startups open mic night. Guys, listen, this is my first StreamYard stream ever. I expect, like many startups, this is going to have a lot of interesting twists and turns as I try to figure out all the technical aspects. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Elio Harmon, founder of 614 Startups and host of the 614 Startups podcast. I'm going to be joined by my very special co-host, Mr. Jeff Siyawa of Nationwide Ventures. And we got two very interesting startups pitching tonight that you will get introduced both to the founders and you will hear them pitch. Tonight, I'm serving as both host and producer. So everybody, bear with me. This is classic startup stuff. We are going to build this as we go. So let me bring my man Jeff up here. Jeff, what's up, my brother? Can you hear me? Jeff, are you there? Jeff, can you hear me? I just heard a little something come from your side. Okay, Jeff just muted. Jeff is not quite ready. Let me bring my man Cole up here and see what's going on with Cole. Cole, what's up, man? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can.
All right, perfect, man. You are live. The entire globe is watching this. Did you know that?
Sorry, what did you say?
I said you are live. The entire globe is watching this. Are you ready?
I am ready.
I saw you backstage, man. You took off the jacket. You were fresh with the jacket, man. You could have gone with the jacket.
Yeah, I felt like I was like really nervous. So I was like, I'll just take it off and be as casual as possible.
Okay, so my job is to make you not nervous, okay? This is super chill. This is super laid back. I anticipate messing up a whole lot during this stream. This is stream number 1. This is a first for me. My first time using this platform, StreamYard. So just chill, man. Just relax. We're going to have a good time. There are only 2 startups pitching tonight. We have a lot of time to get to know each other. We're going to go through your pitches and things like that. So just relax. Let me bring up my other startup founder who's going to be pitching tonight. I see her backstage. Just turn the camera on. Jay,
what's going on?
What's up, Jay?
The dog treat lady. I want you guys to remember me. Hello, everyone. I promise we are going to be entertaining and educational at the same time. I'm super excited to be here, and thank you to Elio for inviting us.
I love it, man. You guys are bringing the right kind of energy to the night. Again, like I'm telling the people on stream right now. So we are on YouTube right now. We are on LinkedIn right now. So the entire 614 Startups Nation, if they're not watching this live, they're going to watch this later. So I appreciate you guys for choosing to be the first founders on. So I'm going to go to Jay because I know Jay prior to this. She's been to a couple of my events, and she's one of those people who comes to your events and lets you know about yourself, all right? So she's let me know about myself on a couple of occasions. So, Jay, you're on the stage now. Let the people know who you are. Who is Jerica Fletcher?
So I guess that was a warm welcome, wasn't it? My name is Jerica Fletcher. I go by Jay. I am the CEO and founder of Pogon Good. By trade, I have been a global strategist for the last 12 years. Super excited. Everything that I do is really based in empowerment, education, and community. So I'm hoping that you guys get that from my pitch today. Hope that you feel my energy today. I'm super excited to be here. I'm ready to share our mission, share the things that we've been doing here in Columbus and what we would like to expand. Because here at Pogon Good, we're about people, planet, and nutrition. So thank you for having us. And don't worry, at the end, I'll be telling you about yourself again in true fashion.
Well, hey, listen, I'm ready for it. Hey, listen, comments, y'all. If you vibe with the criticism, if you agree with her, let her know. If you don't agree, I'll catch it in the comments, all right? I'm sure she's going to tell me all about myself. So, Jay, thank you so much for sharing that. That's a great introduction But you mentioned something, and this is something that I can relate to, which is being a founder with a day job. So you said you tell us a little bit more about that if you can. We're going to talk about your business, of course.
Yeah, absolutely.
You have to understand that we're real people. We're trying to
Absolutely.
launch companies, but we still got to pay the bills. So during the day, how are you paying those bills?
So I'm gonna be fully transparent. I have taken that leap of faith and I have now become a full-time entrepreneur in June of 2023. However, I do want to premise it with this. Like I tell every entrepreneur, do not leave your day job until you can support yourself. And it's in every aspect. And one thing with my background being in strategy, but more importantly, finance, I will always tell somebody, look at what you have spent in the last 8 months. Don't go by what your rent is. Don't go by the imaginary budget. Go through your statements, through your banking, all of your banking, your savings, anything that you actually take money out of and put money into, and make sure that you have at least 8 months worth of financial compatibility to the things that you're actually trying to do, not only with your business, but also maintain a lifestyle, right? Some people think, oh, well, my bills are this. But you forgot that you like to go out and drink. You forgot that you like to get your nails done. You forgot that you're going to want a haircut, right? So be realistic about your budget. I have been in global strategy for 12 years. All of my experience is primarily working with CPG. I started in the industry with enterprise rent-a-car, which I will say was fundamentally great for sales. Towards the end of my career, I worked for an IT startup company called Wavical, based out of Chicago, where I was an engagement director, and I was responsible for data analytics as well as the data visualization, leading the team on a lot of customer lifetime value models. So a lot of different varieties of experience, a lot of different industries over the last 12 years. I would say that my experience really lies in strategy, personal development, professional development, but more importantly, supply chain. We all have experienced the ups and downs of the panic buying of the pandemic. So really being a strategist, trying to be out there on the front line to make sure that companies were continue to be revenue generating, but also being able to make sure that they had sustainability efforts in case we, as we see now, going into COVID strain number 65. I don't know where we're at with it. Making sure that we are always having strategies to really galvanize and motivate our teams, and make sure that we empower and educate people about what supply chain is doing and how they can be more marketable in the industry.
Okay, that's one heck of an introduction. You told me I gave you a heck of an introduction. You introduced the heck out of yourself just now. So I'm loving that. All right, man, I got to bring my man Jeff up here. What's up, Jeff?
How's it going? How's it going? Sorry for the technical difficulties happening early on the call, but I'm glad I was able to have a backup laptop, so we were able to make it on.
All right, man. Cool, man. No apologies. You're the co-host tonight. You're running things. You can arrive whenever you want. You can leave. No, you can't leave whenever you want, man. We're going to have a great time. All right. So Jay just introduced herself. I know you were backstage, so you caught some of that for some reference so that when she's pitching, that's going to inform some of your questions. So I want to go to Cole, and then I'll come back to you, Jeff, for you to introduce yourself. So Cole, why don't you share a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, so I actually started my career in mental health. And when I was working in that, I started in direct care, and I saw how broken the mental health system was and how much need there was. And I attended Give Back Hack here in Columbus and felt like I was in a room full of people that knew everything that I did not know. And I was like, I have to be a part of this world. So I attended IC Stars, which is a coding boot camp, and studied everything I could from UX, UI to marketing, and then went to Equitas Health and worked in their marketing department for a little while, and then broke off and did strategy and consulting for startups. And I went through Sea Change here in Ohio for a startup idea I had. But as you know, as a founder, sometimes you have an idea and you go to bring it to market and you find holes in the business model. So I took some time and really thought through what I wanted and what was important. And it really went back to that original systemic issue. And as you were talking about, Jay, about needing to make sure you had the bills paid, I went to massage therapy school and made sure I didn't have to worry about money anymore. So I always have that in my back pocket. So launching this, like just making sure I can do some massages when I need to, and it's all been working out, and excited to be here.
All right, cool, man. So yeah, man, Cole is out there with that sign, will massage for money. Cole, take it easy, buddy. I like that you have that in the back pocket. We all need a skill that's transferable, always in demand. This business thing, it may look glamorous, but it can get treacherous, right? Sometimes you hear these stories about all these millionaires, billionaires, and how many times they went bankrupt in order to get to where they are. You don't necessarily have to go bankrupt if you take the right steps, like Cole and Jay are saying, and have that transferable skill. All right, Jeff, man, the people got to get to know you and why you're serving as co-host today. Because, I ask people to do stuff all the time, and you said yes. So let them know a little bit about Jeff, who you are, what you do.
Thank you so much, Elio. Really a pleasure to be here today. My name is Jeff Siao, and I'm an investment associate at Nationwide Ventures. Nationwide Ventures is the VC arm for Nationwide, the insurance company. And we invest $1 million to $5 million check size into early stage high growth companies across the insurance and financial services value chain. We look for companies that have remarkable founders, that there's potential for compelling financial returns. And then on the other hand, we look for opportunities across the enterprise where we can partner with Nationwide Enterprise can partner with the startup to help improve operational efficiency, customer satisfaction. So we enjoy having conversations with early stage founders who have vision to build some of the remarkable companies that are going to be improving the lives of our members. By way of background, originally from Ghana, if you can tell by the accent, I've been in the US a little over a decade now. Lived in the Boston area for a few years. Started working at a startup called Form Labs, a 3D printer company. Enjoyed my role there and wanted to do more. So pursued my MBA at the George Washington University, where I got to learn about investments, and then joined Nationwide. I've been at Nationwide for a little around 3 years now, and spent a little over a year on the ventures team. On the team, we have different areas that we focus on, but specifically, I spend most of my time on our retirement investment thesis. So we look at how are people planning. I know, Jay, you talked about financial, wealth building, wealth creation. So I look at that. I look at wealth accumulation as well. And I think there's an opportunity to make a positive impact as people think about their assets and how they're going to you're going to make sure you don't outlive the assets that you have, right? So those are the areas I'm looking at. We also look at the health side of things. How are people thinking about their health? We don't just want to live long. We want to live a healthier life longer. And we look at end of life planning as well, the estate planning, pre-need, at need, post-need. So those are all of opportunities that we look at. And I got to meet Elio a couple of weeks ago. He told me about the amazing things he's doing in the community. And I wanted to be immersed in the community. I've only been in Columbus for a few years now, and I want to meet founders. I want to meet people who are excited about building companies and creating companies here in the Columbus area. So I'm really excited to be a co-host here today, join Elio and friends, and hear the pitches and see how I can be value add here today.
Okay, awesome, Jeff, man. I appreciate it. And listen, man, full disclosure, Nationwide is a sponsor of the 614 Startups podcast. So I appreciate that, man. Nationwide is a Fortune 100 company. So Jeff, to you and the whole team, thank you for dropping off that big bag. All right, let's keep that partnership going in 2024. All right, folks, we're here to talk business. So I appreciate everybody introducing themselves. We're going to get to these startup pitches, but I want to go a little bit deeper. I don't want to take for granted that everybody's watching this is an experienced business owner. So let's talk about inspiration a little bit. There might be some people on the sideline with just an idea. The two of you have actually taken the leap to go from idea to an actual business. Jay, I want to go to you first. When did this, if it's in the pitch deck, you can tell me, hey, wait for the pitch, all right? We'll talk about it then. But just Where did the idea come from? And then what motivated you? Like you said, you took that big leap, right? What has been the genesis from when the idea came to you to where you are today? Bring us up to speed.
Yeah, so honestly, I've been a dog lover all my life. Obviously, I feel like you have to be a dog lover when you're doing all of the things that you will learn about that what Pogon is doing in the pitch deck. I think that ultimately it started with that. Growing up, my grandmother always used to like foster dogs. We had so many dogs growing up. And, you know, as I became older, I became more well versed in like nutrition for my own human body. So I lost over 90 pounds back in 2019. And I think that that just really started making me look at food labels a lot more. And I'll never forget like that one day where I felt like a bad pet parent when I was going to go buy a particular brand. And it just so happened to be a canine nutritionist that was checking me out. And they mentioned like, do you know what you're feeding your dog? Like what's in this dog food? And I'm like, let me see it real quick. It's chicken, right? Like not really knowing what's in my dog food. But then when you think about it from a standpoint as a human, you wouldn't eat anything and not know what's in it, right? You want to be able to identify the ingredients. And so when I started kind of going down this rabbit hole of research about like what can dogs eat, you know, what companies are telling us what dogs should eat, I saw that there was a need within the pet industry for like holistic, all organic, all natural. And then, you know, this might come to a surprise to many, but I am African American, and there's a huge underrepresentation of African Americans within that space. And so I thought that not only from a nutritional standpoint and an educational standpoint about helping pet parents know the foods that they need, I think representation in any industry is extremely important, not only to empower who we currently are, but the youth. Right? They need to see people that look like them, that come from communities like them, to know that that is a option, that that is something that's tangible that can be done. Right? So that is where the inspiration for my company started.
Okay, awesome. I love that. So a little bit of mix of you're solving a problem that you yourself had, inspired by your personal health journey and wanting to communicate. Listen, my wife it doesn't allow me to spare any expense when it comes to our dog. Our dog eats like, you know, the super healthy. I think our dog is like 12, 13 years old, still very, very active dog. I know how much that matters because pets, again, add so much value to our lives. So Cole, you're in the mental health space. What was that? How did you go from idea or inspiration to actually starting a business, and why?
Yeah, so I actually I started in the mental health space, but then I entered into the nonprofit marketing world. I'm actually on 2 boards now for nonprofits, and I started doing consulting with different startups and nonprofits, and I would see that these very large corporate nonprofits, the CEOs can make upwards of $800, $900, $1,000 a year, and then these grassroots initiatives where people are actually in the trenches doing the work, like making the most amount of impact, we're struggling to get funding. So I was constantly running into this problem where I'm trying to create impact with these nonprofits and helping them grow, but I really just wanted to do more. So
yeah, man, you said 800, 900, $1,000. I think you meant 800, $900,000, correct?
yes, yeah, sorry.
Okay, so they're getting to the big bag at the top, but these initiatives down at the bottom are still struggling to get funded. So well, I don't want to jump the gun on the pitch deck, man. I didn't even look at the pitch deck because I wanted to really hear the pitches from you guys. All right, so I think we should jump into pitches, but before we do that, I want to give Jeff an opportunity. Any kind of introductory questions based on what you've heard so far?
No questions from my end. I want to say I'm excited. I also haven't seen the deck myself, so really curious to see. But full disclosure, I'm not a pet parent, so this is also an opportunity for me to be educated. So I look forward to it.
Okay, cool. So do we go with the classic ladies first, or how do we want to do this thing? Jay, Cole, do you have a preference?
I'm ready. Are you guys ready? I'm ready.
Listen, man, I already knew this going in. This was going to be.
You already knew what it was.
I already knew. I don't even know why I'm asking
I
the
don't
questions.
either, but I'm
All
ready.
right, guys. So let me see what I could do here with this whole presentation function. Share my screen. Yes, and let's get this going. All right. Tell me if you guys can see this. Can you see this?
We can see it now.
Okay. Now formatting, right? Let's see if we can format that a little bit better. Is it all right? Can you see it okay?
I can.
Okay. Is everybody okay? Jeff, are you good since you're going to be providing most of the feedback on this?
I'm good. I can see it.
All right, world, you guys are in for a treat. Jay Fletcher is going to tell us all about Paul Gone Good. Jay, take it away. I will be your driver, so just tell me when you need me to go to the next slide.
All right. We gotta wake it up. We gotta wake it up. It's the evening. I know everybody is rather be a happy hour, but don't worry. I'm gonna bring the energy. Welcome to Paul Gone Good. Next slide, Mr. Elio. It looks like it might be up a little bit. But Paul Gone Good is your pet's favorite store. Next slide. All right. My name is Jerica Fletcher, and I am the CEO and founder of Paul Gone Good. We are the first African-American, all-female-led manufacturer, distributor, and retailer of holistic pet care. I have over 10 years in global strategy, working for big companies that you all love, Mars Wrigley, starting with Snickers and Starburst. I did global strategy for Kellogg, so cheeses, as well as your fan fave Pringles and Frosted Flakes, as well as RJ Reynolds. I'm also very happy to announce that I will be a licensed canine nutritionist by the end of this year. Next slide. So a little bit about my company, Paul Gone Good. We were founded on 4 principles: animal rights, innovation, transformation, and health and wellness. Here at Paul Gone Good, we prioritize your pet's nutrition. That's why we use simple labels to identify our all-natural, all-organic ingredients. Next slide. I'm not sure. I'm not seeing it yet. Did you go down to the next slide?
Yeah, we might have a little lag. Can you see it now?
I don't. It's still on the first one for the innovation, transformation, and health and wellness. Do you guys see it? Is it moving on your end, Cole and Jeff?
No.
Yeah, I think I'm frozen. You guys are frozen to me. I think we might have lost Cole and Jeff. So what I'll do is I'll put them.
I see them on.
Yeah, I can see it. Yeah, he froze for us.
Okay, are we back?
We're a little bit further. So go back.
I'm sorry, guys. I lost all of you. The feed I lost the feed. So go back, right?
Yes, go back a slide.
Right here?
It's still showing the same slide on my end. I'm not sure. I see like Polish's treats.
Okay, so let me fix that. That's my little furry friend barking right there.
See, he wants these dog treats. You got to get to it.
Yeah, you put the link in the chat. I see you put the link in the chat. Who knows? Somebody might be ready to order right now. Put the link in the chat. All right, let's try this again. Tell me if you can see the slide.
Still on the wrong slide. Okay, go. Okay, scroll up. Go up. It's working now. Go up. Yep. right here. All right. All right.
All right, guys, forgive the technical difficulties.
No
This is
problem.
stream number 1. All
All
right, go
right.
ahead.
So, of course, we have all of the furry fashions for your Pogons goods. We have jerseys, hoodies, vests. We have LED collars and costumes to get you prepared for the seasonal holidays such as Halloween. Even more exciting, we're happy to announce our Daddy and Me, Mommy and Me, Brother and Me matching apparel for the entire family. Next screen. So our flagship items, our Paw Listers organic dog treat line. We have our number 1 seller, which is the vegan peanut butter and banana, followed by the organic chicken and veggies and the organic beef and veggies. Next slide. So the problem that our treats solve are the 4 most common issues that pet parents face. Number 1, bad breath, right? Tooth decay, mobility issues, such as hip support, as well as making sure that your dog has a full shiny coat. All 3 products are human grade with 10 ingredients or less, but even more important, we support the local economy by sourcing our ingredients from local farmers here in Ohio. Next slide. So the most rewarding and most fulfilling part of my job is our Pawpreneur Pioneer Interactive Workshops currently being conducted at 4 different local community parks and recreation centers. So a little bit about how the class is composed. The kids are greeted with chef hats, aprons, and of course their fan fave, the doggy ears, where they get to choose. From there, they're sent to a table that has a variety of ingredients that are presented buffet style, accompanied with a health benefit that each ingredient plays in the dog's life. From there, they get to choose their own ingredients and form their own customized recipe of their dog treat line. We have over 150 stencils where the kids will actually stencil out their dog treats. And then from there, they go to the arts and craft table where they're able to personalize their own biodegradable craft bags to bring the fruition to their life of their actual dog treats. Upon completion of the course, they're giving a LLC certificate to acknowledge their business. All right, next slide. Because for every problem, they're the Pogon Good solution. Next slide. So a little bit about the industry. It's worth $261 billion globally, with $110 billion being generated right here in the US. Unfortunately, less than 1% of African Americans are pet holistic manufacturers. An even smaller percentage of that are African American women. Okay, we'll go to the next slide. So a little bit about Pogon Goods customer. Tends to be a woman ages 18 through 35. About 42% of our customer base actually shops online, and their search engine is definitely premium foods, organic foods. And what's most important to them are locally sourced ingredients and nutritional values that the foods play in their dog's life. Next slide. So we're happy to announce that we were just on Channel 10 last week, and within 48 hours, we received over 100 sales that led to 30,000 likes and impressions and shares on social media. I need to correct that number because as of today, we have 6 partnerships, one being our very first brick and mortar. So we are super excited about that. We also have 4 partnerships with Parks and Recreations where we teach our classes, and I am a partner with the Columbus Visitor Bureau. I'm also happy to announce that I am certified to be a national minority supplier. I'm also an MBE, EDGE, and WBE certified business. Next slide. So my ask today, I guess I'm talking to you, Jeff, because you have all the money. I heard there was a couple $100,000. So let's get to the big bag. Next slide, Mr. Elio. So with Jeff's personal contribution to Pogon Good, beyond the order of treats that him and Elio will be getting, it is going to be really helping me acquire the commercial equipment needing to grow and scale my business to become retail ready. One of the things that have really hindered us is the bandwidth in making the treats to really be able to explore brick and mortar partnerships. The machine that we are seeking for would be the cookie formatic machine made by Dayton, or a cookie depositor machine. We also need a lot of help with instructors as well as sponsoring ingredients so that we can continue to unleash a whole new wave of health and wellness by empowering the kids through our interactive workshops. And then lastly, it would be to continue to help us with our efforts to build and grow our communities one wag at a time. One thing about the pet food industry is it doesn't bind you by gender, by race, by ethnicity, or even by age. But what it does show you is it's a showcase of representation and entrepreneurship and the boundless potential for positive change. Next slide. So specifically, Mr. Elio and Mr. Jeff, I'm going to need you guys to scan that QR code, and everybody that is looking today, connect with us on social media, connect with me via email, whatever platform you choose. Buy you, your pup, or your neighbor's pup a Pawlicious product today. Because here at Paw Gone Good, we feed and treat your dog like family.
Wow, amazing, amazing, amazing pitch. All right, I'm gonna leave the QR code up there, guys, just so you have time to capture the QR code. Jeff, I got my questions. I'm gonna turn it over to you first, and we can go back and forth with Jay and Cole. Listen, get in on the action, man.
Yes,
if you got a pressing question, if you are impressed, jump in here. Let's talk a little bit about Jay's presentation. Jeff, what you got?
Yeah, Jay, I want to start by saying congratulations. This was such a great, first of all, great pitch. And then second, I think you're building a great business with a strong impact. I want to start by also saying that I love the design, the colors, your logo, very easy to understand what you're selling.
Thank you.
In terms of the story, I also appreciate you starting with the background. It tells that you know what you're talking about, the companies that you've worked at. I would have loved to see them highlighted on the slide. I don't know if it wasn't there or the technical difficulty, so we probably missed it. But I would have loved to see it there because it becomes memorable when you see it on the slide that, yeah, Jay worked at all of these companies. Another point I also want to bring up is the pain point. I felt like the pain point came in a little later. I would have loved to start from there because maybe the pet parents understand exactly what you're talking about. But for folks like us I'm not a pet parent, so I'm trying to understand what you're addressing here. So I would have loved to see, you talked about the bad breath, you talked about the mobility. Sorry about that, the mobility issues. I would have loved to see how that impacts, whether it's pet insurance or, I would have loved to hear how that impacts overall and how bad it is. So that let me see here in my notes. In terms of the stream of income, I know that you briefly highlighted it on that slide. If you could have talked more about, I think you talked about accessories. If you had, I would have loved for you to spend a little bit more time there because as an investor, you want to see how you make your money, right?
Right.
So that the cost, a little bit about the business side, if you could have spent more time there. I do have questions, but I want to pause there and say congrats on the what you've built so far, the traction you're making as well.
Yeah, so unfortunately, the deck didn't populate the cost. So there's like a pop-up that will show with each one what their cost is. But I see we were having some technical difficulties. So it was more of a user error, Elio. But no, I'm joking. He knows I'm going to talk junk. I can't answer those questions. So all of my apparel has the lowest margin is 80%, the higher end is 88%. For the organic chicken, it's 68%. For the organic beef, it's 58%. And for our vegan peanut butter and banana, it's 90% margin. So we have really good margins. Right now, the classes are they're brand new. We just started 2 weeks ago. So I would love to get like maybe more of a 30-day number just to really assess how that's going to work. Currently, right now, we're at 52%, but I'm looking to achieve closer to a number of 77% as the class continues to grow and get bigger.
Gotcha. So in terms of the product, it sounds like the margins there are healthier than the other income streams.
So I would just say that, I've been doing my treats for 4 years. I've been doing my classes for 2 weeks. To be totally honest, the partnerships with the classes came a lot easier, just mainly because right now we really primarily work on events as well as trying to get conversions from our website and our social media. However, within 2 weeks, we were able to get 6 partnerships locally. So I do think that the classes are going to continue to grow and expand. We also we have in the workings an adult class for dog making treats. They're a little bit more. Those revenue streams are closer to 88% for margins. Again, it just takes a little bit of time to grow and build those classes up to really see the profitability.
Gotcha. I appreciate the context there. I know through the pictures.
Jeff, man, you hogging up the stream. I know you a guest, man. Can I get one question in, man? You grilling Jay. No, I'm just joking.
I thought I was a host for a second. I forgot I was just a co-host.
Yeah, man, this is ESPN. You're going to get interrupted, all right? We're just going to let these questions fly. We're having fun. Jeff, great questions, though, and I want to dig into some of them, all right? So I love the branding. It's Paul-licious. It's Paul Terrific. It's Paul Gone Good. Let's talk about protecting that brand, right? Brands are so important when it comes to retail. What have you done to protect, like Paul-licious? Is that yours?
Yes.
And all of that. Okay. Are you already trademarking those things?
Yes. So as everyone knows, the trademarks are behind. We did file for our trademark. We're just waiting now for the official stamp on it. But we do have a trademark. We're trademarking Paul-licious and the name Paul Gone Good. We definitely have, we're working right now on a patent for the actual recipe formula, because all 3 treat lines, there's nothing like it on the market. There's no other recipes. Of course, with Jeff giving me this money, I'll be able to pay for it. And so that's kind of what's been the holdup on the recipe formula. It's very, very expensive. And I think what is more important, you want to protect something that people want, right? And I just got the brick and mortar partnership today. So we're not like in a lot of stores, but that would definitely be something that has to be done. It would definitely be a prerequisite before going into a national or even a chain that has, I say, more than 13 locations.
Okay, yeah. So one of the things you talk about, you needed money for capacity, but yet you have 5 partnerships. Do you currently have the capacity to serve those 5 partnerships, or is it going to be necessary to get some money in to serve the people you already have?
Right. So I have 4 verticals right now of my company. One is accessories. One is the organic dog treat line. Another one is apparel, and then the interactive workshops. So the partnerships that we have right now are really primarily on the interactive workshops. We do now just have the brick and mortar as of today for the actual dog treats. What I need capacity for as far as the growth and scaling of the business is I need a machine to make the dog treats. Given that I have so many verticals now, and now that I'm teaching the classes, I don't have the bandwidth or the time to make the treats at the same capacity or volume as I would be if I had an actual machine.
So let me challenge you here, okay? You got 90% profit margin on the vegan, but are you counting your time appropriately? Because how much higher can that margin go at scale? If you're already making 90%, right, you're just going to produce more.
Exactly.
Usually what you have with scale is this increase in margins because you're able to produce at capacity. My concern is whether or not that 90% is our real number. Are you factoring in all your costs at this point?
I am. So I started the business 4 years ago. So I was able to really capitalize off of the pandemic and getting a lot of things that are well below cost now. Which is why I'm able to have such a high margin, specifically on the vegan peanut butter and banana, because as you see, the other 2 margins are not as high, right? I came into a really, really good deal with the bulk of ingredients. Vegan peanut butter also has the least amount of ingredients compared to the chicken and the organic veggies, and as well as the packaging. It was a lot cheaper than both of those. That's why the margins is so high. However, the problem is not the margins and making money on it. It's the outlets and how we're going to market the product, right? It's great that you have a high margin, but if you have nowhere to sell it, a strategy is only as good as it can be implemented. So that is the problem right now. We're really in need of having brick and mortar partnerships. Due to the fact that I teach other people how to make their own dog treats, that's not really an avenue to sell. right? It's an avenue to teach.
Gotcha. All right, Jeff, I'm a Cole. Any questions? Because I'm gonna keep going.
You can keep going.
I can keep going. All right.
Yeah.
So, what's your primary distribution channel right now for like the 100 sales that you made on 10 TV? Were they ordering online?
Online and events. Online and events. So I do about 4 to 7 events every week. Because one of my partnerships actually is with the Columbus Visitor Bureau. I get invited to a lot of partner events, a lot of conventions that then turn into a lot of vendor pop-up events. We just did WAG Fest, which is the largest dog festival in North America. We had over 25,000 people through that particular festival. There were a lot of other partnerships that were formed and a lot of other events that Paul Gone Good was invited to.
All right, wonderful. Do you see any difference in terms of your distribution channel profit margins? I know the brick and mortar thing is really new and you've been doing like online for the longest time. So how much at scale, at capacity, do you foresee online is going to kind of be your primary channel and then brick and mortar? And then do you see any differences in profit margin by going in either direction?
So for the thing is, I usually do like a suggested manufacturing, retail rate for my customers at closer to about a 25 to 35% margin, just depending on what other treats that they carry. Like one of the stores I'm working with, they're primarily vegan, so they'll have higher marginal kickbacks just due to the fact of like what their customer base is. But for some of the other items, it's closer to that 25%. For me, I take almost like a 10% hit due to me lowering the cost for wholesale. But again, with the acquirement of commercial equipment, I can gain about at least 3%. So only going down about 7% on my margins across the board. And that's really due to waste. I don't have any waste. I have a zero waste sustainability effort right now with my program. I'm not really for certain on what the waste is going to look like. Of course, I've seen numbers, but again, I have a very unique ingredient mix. And so usually what the people are using the formatic machine for, we don't have the same ingredients. So based off of just what they have said, we've got to work with the machine, try the machine out. It's looking like it's going to hit me 6% more so on the wholesale, but not too much, maybe 2%. I think it was 2.3 on just me distributing it directly to consumer.
All right, Cole, don't get nervous, man. Jay's my girl. You see how she's been giving me a hard time? I got to give her a hard time back. See, this is where I get to give her a hard time back. So don't get nervous. We're coming to you next. So get ready. Go over your slides, man. We're going to have a ton of questions for you. Jeff, do you have anything else? Because I could keep going.
Yeah, I wanted to talk about differentiation. You mentioned how different yours was in terms of ingredients. Today, if someone was to go to the market off the shelf, what others are? Is there a brand that is popular that people usually go for? Like, what exists today in the market?
Nothing like mine. Don't even worry about them. They're not up here. No, I'm joking. There are things like single ingredient. That has been like the new wave is the raw diets. What's great about my company is that because we started 4 years ago, and of course, canine nutrition is so important, I was already ahead of the wave. A big call is right now is for dehydrated treats, right? Because it's minimal processing. It allows a lot of the ingredients to stay in their natural state and they don't go bad as quickly as the other treats. However, to have a treat that combines fruits, vegetables, and protein in every single treat is just not something that the market is seeing. You have like something that's just a single treat that's really heavy on protein. So like beast and heart, tripe. People use tripe a lot right now. There's like just a lot of single ingredients. So we really try to create a well-balanced treat. So it's actually really nothing that's comparable on the market.
Gotcha. Does that make it last longer in terms
Absolutely.
of
Absolutely.
And what about price comparing with what exists?
So the average price, I mean, again, it's hard to compare because there's not anything that is really comparable, but I would say like the single ingredient, the raw ingredients, all organic, you're looking anywhere from $11.99 to $13.99, depending on which demographic. Here in Columbus, you're looking at more $11.99, but where the real target audience for organic ingredients closer to the West Coast, you're looking anywhere from $13 to $17.99, and we're priced at $15.
Gotcha. Yeah. I have a question about retention as well. So I'm assuming if you buy for your dog and your dog loves it, you're coming back for more. What does that look like? Are they buying on a weekly basis, and do you have any data on retention rate there?
Yeah, so I'll be fully transparent. So we really just started getting into the Ohio market due to licensing and certifications in June. And we've primarily been working events. And so what you see from my numbers as far as like my payment center, we have about a 26% return rate on customers, which is actually really good due to the fact that most customers are coming to events. They're just following me from event to event. They see me posting on my social media where I'm going to be, where I'm going to be located. And then, of course, because I capture emails, I capture a lot of data about that customer base. I'm able to see if that customer has came back based off of the data that they provided. Of course, there's going to be some people that have slipped through the cracks because they didn't want to give up their email, but you can recognize them by face. I think that one of the challenges is, again, I'll be totally honest, in my shipping, especially having just the e-commerce website, I'm, taking a lot of costs there. But I do think if the brick and mortar relationships are really going to help with that, because that is probably the number one concern and thing that I know that we really need to work on, which is why we're hoping to have at least 3 partnerships by the end of 2023. We got 2 more to go, and we really want to make sure that we streamline our process and the things that we're doing to match and mirror the companies that we're being with. So I think that that's something that we're going to see significant growth for in 2024. 26% is not a bad number, but if we can get closer to like that 50%, that'd be great.
Sounds
awesome,
good.
Awesome. All right, we're gonna let you off the hot seat, Jay. You did a fantastic job, but the seat's never hot for you. You like the pressure, right?
I do. I'm an Aries, so our sign is a diamond, and hey, what's made under pressure?
All right. So, last question though. Last question.
Go ahead.
We had an ask, but I didn't hear a number, and then what the investor would get in return. So, what do you offer? What are you asking? What are you offering for somebody who might watch this stream and say, hey, I want a piece of this?
Yeah, it's a relationship. It's all about reciprocity, baby. What you giving and you get something, right? I think that the biggest thing right now is expertise on manufacturing. Like, we really would love to be working with like a consultancy, because I feel like the machine is an intermediate step. But it's kind of like, is that going to get me in a Sam's Club, right? So really having a true supply chain and what's the best way, given, where the pet industry is going, especially with these single ingredients, with training treats, with people having like Chewy, is it better to stay e-commerce and do everything ourselves? Or is it better to outsource, right? Because a lot of companies are stepping away from manufacturing, right? So just kind of having the expertise and then the acquirement of the actual, the equipment itself. And if somebody was willing to not give me 1 machine, but 3 machines so that I can run all 3 products at the same time, it would definitely be a rate of return on their investment. I don't think we're at the state of giving up any equity, just giving like what our 5-year plan is. It's going to go conversation by conversation, to be totally honest. But right now we're definitely looking at more of a rate of return on the initial capital investment.
All right, awesome. So, Jay, I don't know if you know about this program from Jobs Ohio. It's called the Inclusion Grant. All right, something to check out. But here's the criteria, though. We got to get Jay to $100,000 in revenue, right? That's the bottom line. So, listen, even if you're not an investor with deep pockets, you can't come out and get some equity in Paul Gone Good. You can buy some products, help her go over that $100,000 mark as currently a small business owner, soon to be a multi-million-dollar business owner, so she can get that inclusion grant and buy equipment. Programs like Jobs Ohio are trying to fund minority and women-owned businesses to help them get equipment to grow. So 614 Startups Nation, if you got a pet out there, or you know somebody who has a pet, go to Paul Gone Good, buy something, help her hit that revenue number so she could go out and apply for this grant while she also engages investors. Link to the grant in the comments for other people who are interested. All right, Cole, what's up, man?
Wow. I should have went first.
Wow. I'm actually so excited about yours. Like, I'm excited.
I love it. You are a spitfire, and it's amazing.
Thank you.
But I will be completely vulnerable here, guys. This is my very first time pitching. And Elio sent it to me, and I was like, hey, I'm just gonna go for it. So
great.
we are pre-launch, so this is we're just rolling with it, and every time you can pitch, you get better and better. So
no problem at all, Cole. You got this. This is my first time co-hosting too.
Ready.
Oh man, we're about to love on you, Cole. You got it, man. All right, let me see if I can make this work though. I gotta help you out too. Let's see what we got. All right, I think it's working. And Jay, you're gonna hate me because now I got his in full screen and it's gonna go slide by slide. Okay, so you could, see me in the back. See me in the back.
I already knew how you was gonna do me, but it's okay. I still came through at the end.
I don't have any like cool music though to start. So
I know, and Jay, if I get demonetized because you played that song at the beginning, you're gonna owe me a check. If I get demonetized because you played that song, we got issues. All right, go ahead, Cole.
All right, guys. My name is Cole Still, and I am the founder of the Give Good company. I am passionate about creating social impact, and my whole life is rooted in that. So yeah, that's why I'm here. You can go to the next slide. All right. So what makes a person happy? Sorry, I wish I could control the slideshow. You can go to the next one. It was supposed to just kind of float. So what makes a person happy? Is it like, sorry, guys, this was supposed to just like be a click through. So is it dancing in the rain? Is it spending time with family? Is it warm fuzzy hugs? Is it pizza nights in? Everything that we do is rooted in connection, and we have never been more disconnected in our world and in our society. So that is why I made Give Good, because we our mental health rates are rising, and we have over a 2-month wait list at Children's right now, and Children's is supposed to be like the standard for mental health care for adolescents and kids in the country. And if someone's in crisis, they are waiting for beds. Our emergency rooms here in Columbus have wait times of up to a week sometimes. And the things that people are going through just to get care is so tough. So working in that field and working inpatient, I saw so many things that happen, and we're only here for one another. We're just walking each other home, essentially. So you can go to the next slide. Yeah, see these little boxes we're supposed to like move around and like so yeah, so we are, you can go to the next slide again. So with that, like the more our mental health rates grow up, there's a number of factors that these are stemming from. We follow our dreams, and our small businesses face closure because we don't have enough tools. We have you can go to the next one too. So all of these things lead into one another, whether it's like poverty leading from economic inequalities. If we are out here trying to make change and make the systems better, then we are having trouble getting funding, and addiction rates stem from mental health rates. So all of this is connected, and that is why we. Can you go back to the slide before? Sorry. Wow, Jay, you. I'm gonna need to sit down with you and do some pitch practice. So
you're all good, man. We're family on the stream.
Yeah, you're doing great.
Yeah.
Keep it going.
So
speak from the heart. You know this stuff.
So the reality is that our nonprofits are facing closure. I worked with so many amazing causes, and the people in the trenches doing the work, whether it's in the mental health care system, like the people in the trenches are burnout, whether it's people trying to make systematic change, we're constantly like facing larger issues, and it's all coming from a broken system. So we need holistic, sustainable solutions that can fund change. And that's you can go forward. You can go again. Sorry. All right, so our solution is a tech-enabled ecosystem delivering curated subscriptions, a digital marketplace, and community-powered civic engagement, all fine-tuned by AI to maximize impact on small businesses, nonprofits, and reentry citizens. So we are going to make a subscription box, but it's rooted in AI. So when people subscribe, I'm collecting data that is allowing me to set a standard for nonprofit operations, as well as pulling that data to maximize the subscription service for my customers. So as we work with every single month with a different nonprofit, we are pulling that data. But then at the same time, we're creating a place for small businesses to create impact as well and reach new revenue sources. So you can go to the next page. Our product is the Give Good Box. It's more than a subscription box. It's a monthly dose of joy, belonging, and positive impact. Every month, straight to your door, we are giving you a boost to your mental health. So consumers can feel good while doing good and be a part of change that's both close to heart and wide in reach. So we partner with a different organization every month. We tell their story. We increase their following. We're giving them access to new donors in a way that is low effort, because these organizations spend so much time trying to fundraise and it takes away from the mission. Or you're shaking hands in corporate America and being a part of big philanthropy, and then you're not actually spending all the time doing the work. And how much money is wasted being a part of just the machine. So we are taking away that concept, and we're promoting accountability, and we're promoting the causes that are actually out here doing the work. So each month when we are featuring them and telling their story, we're theming the box around them. So for example, we're working with Shower for the People out of Nashville 1 month. So their box, they make mobile shower trucks for homeless people, and they're an amazing cause. I met them at Bonnaroo 2 years ago, and it's just a husband and wife. And literally, they when the mass shooting happened in Nashville, they started doing doing the laundry for every single victim of the families for like the last year. And that's not part of their mission. They're not out there marketing that. Like, they probably wouldn't even want me to tell people that, but like, they are out there like busting their butts just to make an impact. And it's causes like that need all the help they can get. They're running so short staffed because they are actually spending all their time working that they need our help. So that's the people that we should be in their corners and backing. So for their box, it's shower themed. We're creating unique experiences in it. So all of the products are stand out and give you a shock, kind of like BarkBox. I worked for them for a little while. That's kind of like where I got this. Was I worked with them in another subscription box, and I kind of learned the in and outs of the market, and saw that there was potential here by mixing the social enterprise space with the subscription box space, because to VCs, it is a really like volatile market to be in the subscription box market. But I am rooting it in tech and rooting it in the social enterprise space to disrupt that industry. So, but with BarkBox, the products in it, the allure of it is every month you don't know what you're getting. You don't know what the theme's going to be. So we're featuring a different cause and leaving you with that suspense, but also a portion of every sale is going to our impact. So. I actually don't know if I put it on here, but so we 10% of every sale to 20% goes to our impact. So from every single sale, instead of, you can be a monthly subscriber 6-month subscriber or 12-month. If you're monthly, then we donate 10%. If you're 6-month, we donate 15%. And if you're a 12-month subscriber, we donate 20%. So we're not giving you a price break for being subscribed longer. We're donating more. So promoting accountability across the board. So from every sale, we are giving a portion of it, but then we're selling larger sizes of all the products in our boxes on our website, which is where that online marketplace comes in, as well as online exclusive products that we're making, such as t-shirts and hats. We'll have a couple at our launch party that we'll be launching off with, and then having strategic partnership products as well on there too. So any companies that want to give back and want to work with us, they can promote their products on there, and then a portion of the sale will go to those causes. So market size, we are tapping into a $20 billion subscription box industry with a compounding annual growth rate of 4.5%. And we are also joining that into the social enterprise sector, which is a $715 billion industry. So this is a colossal opportunity for us to drive profit while making a difference. So go to the next slide. So on the short-term impact, this was so cute. So all these little things like came around and then they started circling together. So, but the short-term impact, we fuel small businesses by featuring their products in our boxes, but we are supercharging grassroots nonprofits. So by us being able to support these, we are creating multiple routes of impact. And internally, our goal is to mentor, educate, and hire people in recovery from addiction that have drug-related felonies, because the average, I had it on here, but the average reentry rate is 75% of people with drug-related felonies are readmitted into the prison system within 3 years. So, and then you can go to the next slide. So then that leads us to our large-scale impact. So we want to redirect the future of philanthropy with tech-driven, data-backed impact that disrupts and holds big charity accountable. So by using AI and machine learning and collecting that data, over enough time of us supporting different causes and growing our organization, each month collecting that data and mining that data, I can set the standard of what is ethical practice. And then I can go to funding agencies and I can hold organizations that aren't acting in an ethical manner accountable. So that is our large scale goal. But at the very base level, we have a product that gives back, and we are also funding change. So regardless of our long-term goals, like that is what we're rooted in. So, and you can go to the next slide. So our go-to-market strategy. So we are engineered for rapid, meaningful impact. So we're leveraging high-impact nonprofits and partnerships with for an estimated 2,000 initial customers, seasonal campaigns, and strategic local events. We will be backed by micro-influencers and using our analytics combined with AI to position us for scalable growth and 3 times the number of customer lifetime value. So I'm actually going to go back a little bit to talk a little bit more. Sorry. That was very broad. So I just kind of want to dive in a little bit on it. You can just go back to that last slide one more time. Sorry. So for go-to-market strategy, my background's in marketing, so we're going to be leveraging the digital marketing a lot, mixed with our partnerships with our nonprofit. So our first month, we're going to be partnered with WUFA, Women United for Animal Welfare out of LA. They are a huge nonprofit in terms of followers. They have 23,000. So we're launching off with a nonprofit that is bought into our organization. I did their marketing. So they're like, yeah, we're all in on this. But they're so ethical. They're 100% volunteer at the same time. So they spend all of their time doing this impact and going on missions and out in the community, literally cleaning. There's a huge shelter crisis in LA. So they are literally in the shelters volunteering all the time. but then they're 100% volunteer and they're not getting paid for it at all. So they're constantly in the red when it comes to fundraising and just struggling to get by. So we're backed by like a few different nonprofits like that. And then you can go to the next slide. In terms of our go-to-market strategy, we're also going to be working with BESA for Earth Day this coming, like in the spring. We're going to be doing a huge campaign with them that I would love to get like tons of different nonprofits from around Columbus on board to be a part of, to really like empower people to talk about it, be about it, and make a difference in the community. BESA's whole platform is volunteering and getting involved. So it's really aligned with ours. We're also going to be working with the Ally Coalition here in December. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we're still in talks with that, but they fund safe houses and smaller grassroots charities for LGBTQ plus, for the LGBTQ plus community. We're doing our launch party at The Key on November 10th. Which is super exciting. I love that venue. Check it out. They have a really cool coffee shop during the day. I love the vibe, which is going to be super cool. We're going to have local artists performing. We're going to have a drag show going on, a DJ, and they have a whole concert venue in the back. So it's going to be a party all night long. So we really wanted to feel like a party and not just a stuffy like business event. So we really want to like bring that, and then we're inviting all nonprofits and give back causes from the community to participate in it. So we'll have a giant room full of any organization can table for free. I just want people to get involved. So we're going to be at the Festival for Good this month. That's going to be our very, very first event, and I'm super excited. And I already mentioned that we're working with Shower for the People, but super excited to be working with them also. And then I am a mentor for Give Back Hack and a alumni for Sea Change. So they're huge partners for us here in the community. And yeah, so many cool things coming. So we're fueled by our partnerships and our business commitments, and our product solution has already ignited interest, as you can see from a lot of people. This is pre-market launch, and this is really just for me bootstrapping. I have like one friend that helped me and invest a little bit, but like really we don't have any investment so far. So our outset for our launch, we're looking at 400 users. Our cost per unit is $59.99 for the consumer, and our cost initially is about 50% profit margin for that. So we're going to be profiting about $25, $30 per box. And then as we grow and grow our following, our goal is to market ourselves as B2B to organizations and increase our profit margin by featuring products and like these companies supporting us and leveraging it as a marketing tool. So we are projected to have 300 monthly increase in customers, and our strategy includes for validation has included customer feedback, talking with tons of different organizations and the nonprofits, as well as people in our community. At Give Back Hack, we're really big about just validating in the moment and testing and iterating, and that is my bread and butter. So focus group surveys, iterative enhancements. Yeah, we've solidified our concept's attractiveness, and I'm just excited to launch and enhance our investment proposition. We've been applying for accelerators all over the country. I interviewed with one last week and just learning through every single interview. So this is actually like through this presentation together, because I had a whole different one that I'd sent to Elio that was really like 4 accelerators, and I was like, I gotta change this up. So next slide. So we're looking for $50,000 in investment, $15,000 for mobile and web app development, so that we can really tailor the subscribers' experience and make it as like data-driven as possible. And that way, as we grow, we can really figure out what our customers need and giving them the products that they would most enjoy, as well as using 8,000 of that for AI personalization tools, $10,000 so that we can increase our marketing nationally so that we can really like scale how we want to, as well as $5,000 for local advertising and community engagement. So for example, hosting community events to get people involved. So $4,000 for inventory, $3,000 for consultant fees, $2,000 for legal and compliance, and then 1.5 for product innovation costs, and having some for as a contingency fund. So
all right, Cole, we cannot wait to grill you, man. I'm going to give you another 45 seconds to wrap this thing, and then we need to talk to you about this.
All right. So so that's what we're looking for investment. And then you can go to the next slide. So this is a lot on this slide. This was for our accelerator, but we have really looked in and done a complete competitive analysis for our launch. We've dug into all of our competitors, and there's nothing like this on the market in terms of subscription boxes. We found others that do give back, but it's always to a single cause, and we're not tied to one cause, and we support a ton of different organizations and causes. So we've looked through our risks, and we have completely done our sales goals and financial projections. So you can see those there, and I can also send you some if you would like to see more in depth. So yeah, that's it.
All right, Cole, great job, man.
I had it all timed out, so I was thrown off a little bit. My bad, guys. It was like supposed to be like a flowy, pretty. So I'll send you like an actual presentation of it.
All right, you did a great job. All right, let me turn it over to Jeff. Jay, I'm coming to you, and then I'll go last.
Yeah, great job, Cole. Hopefully you can hear me. I love the work you're doing. I love the model of it. I think at least from my interpretation, it was a little slow in the beginning for me to get what the solution was. So I would have loved for you to highlight like what I referenced earlier. What is the pain point? I love the story you shared about the LA nonprofit doing the work, making a positive impact, but struggling to raise capital. I think that hit home. Like that is something I'm going to leave today and remember, because I've also worked for a nonprofit in the past, and you have passionate people, but the lack of a capital or they just figuring out the business side of it is challenging. So I think like hitting that nail and then bringing that to now, this is the solution we have for that. It's a product in a box where we'll be highlighting them so that you can know the work that you're doing. So I did get the solution. I did get the product. A question I have there is, I don't get the AI side of it, the platform. Because in my interpretation, this is a marketplace. You are connecting nonprofits, giving them the exposure to consumers who want the products in the box. So if you're getting monthly subscription, you're getting different products in there, and then you learn about a new nonprofit that a percentage of the profits go to. I don't see where the tech side, the platform, the data. So if you can share more about that, that would be helpful.
Yeah. So in terms of AI, what we're doing is when organizations apply for funding and apply for our support, what we do is we are mining that data, and we're going to have requirements that people have to submit. And as well as online, you can see a certain level of transparency, but really when people apply to work with us, we're going to be taking that data and mining that data that then we can use and leverage through AI to really set those standards and become that that standard for what it means to be an ethical nonprofit organization.
Yeah, sorry, I'm trying to what it means to be ethical, as in.
So like if I'm a an executive and I'm making, I don't remember if you were here in the beginning. So when I was, so I there's CEOs and executives in nonprofits that make hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, 6 figures. And like, that is not okay. That money should be going to impact. And I've seen that time and time again, where we have these nonprofits that are huge and they're existing as a giant corporate entity, but then these organizations like the one you mentioned in LA, that are struggling just to get funding. So it's not ethical. And what I want to do is take AI and mine that data, so that I'm then able to leverage that and say like, hey, all of this money is being donated to these causes, and it's just going into that executive's pockets. So these are actual organizations that are doing the same work and doing this, and they're deserving of the money. I saw a TikTok go viral the other day of an executive in a nonprofit that literally was like made close to $1 million, and people just were ripping them to shreds on TikTok. And I was like, yes, please. So now, like, let's actually do something about it and put our money where our mouth is. So
I appreciate the clarity. I now totally get it. So an opportunity for folks to see where their dollars can actually make impact, and exposing them and getting that data to quantify that impact. I appreciate that, Cole. I love the work you're doing. Like I said, I think early on, sharing the story of the LA work will draw the attention, so that you can then share the product and the solutions you're building. But I'll pause there. Thank you for the opportunity to learn about what you're doing.
thank you.
Well, firstly, Cole, you did amazing. You got through it. I know this is actually your second time, because I'm familiar with C-Chain, so I know they have to let you guys do some type of variation. So you did amazing. You did a great job. I'm going to mirror Jeff's comments. I think that what you're actually doing and the impact that you're trying to make and the mission of your company is exceptional, and there's very much a need for it. I just wanted a little clarification. So I know you're putting together subscription boxes, and they're coming. It seems like a lot of the items that are going in the subscription boxes are coming from small businesses. Did I understand that correctly? Are they providing the product to you?
So
is that at a cost?
Yeah, so we're purchasing it wholesale from these small businesses, and supporting them financially through that. And then down the line, I would love to, once we have grown our following enough, to become a marketing tool for organizations. I've already been able to get samples from for like snacks to go into our boxes, but down the line, to be able to work with businesses and increase our profit margins by getting products donated, that would be super cool too. So yeah. And then yeah, that's all.
Yeah, no worries. I have a question. So I noticed that I'm not getting at you. I promise you. I'm just trying to understand. If you don't know, just tell me. You know, it's fine. As far as like your threshold, right? So like you have a 50% margin, which is absolutely great, right? How can you control that margin? Are you having a threshold on the wholesale price of items that you're looking for? And how many items go into this box?
Yes, thank you for that question. So all of our boxes are designed by us, and are like, we purposely choose the products and make a whole theme. So I purposely chose products that are of good value, and like each of our boxes is about $75-$80 in value, while also telling that story and the value of the storytelling and the impact, but existing about $25 cost.
What will the boxes change? Are they consistent, or will you be doing like what is the frequency? What's the cadence? Is it every week, every month, a new box? And what's going in the boxes? Like, so example, you have a theme. What's the theme? Would you say?
Yeah,
like,
so I'll give you an example. So for the party animal box is what we're doing for WUFA, the organization out of LA, because not everyone has pets. So it's called the party animal box, and it's all about making sure you have fun in your life. So the whole thing with Give Good and the Give Good box is we're making you feel good and giving you something every month for your mental well-being. So like that's the base product. is where, regardless of wanting to change the nonprofit systems and all of this, like all it is that we're giving to the consumer is something that makes them feel good. So for the Woofa box, it's all about making sure you have time for play, making sure you have time to party in your life and have fun, while also having positive messaging through those products as well. So for that one, we're going to have like a little Bluetooth speaker, and we're going to have disco ball sunglasses, and we're going to have drink tops for like to protect people from getting roofied. So that way, like we have positive messaging in there around that and giving people things to stay safe. And then the messaging and the storytelling of that box itself is all around their mental health and well-being. So that, and then the shower for the people one, that's all about like equity in your body. And some people don't have access to those products that you're getting in the box, but we're supporting these local organizations and small businesses that have, like there's one called My Cluck Hut in Nashville that we're getting soap from, that I met, and they're so cool, and they're constantly involved in the community. So yeah, those are some examples.
Super awesome.
You're muted, Elia.
Let me jump in here and give Cole a hard time. All right, Jay, you ready?
Do it.
Cole, you ready?
Me.
All right, man. So people are in the chat. I thank everybody in the chat for supporting. Jay, I got a question coming your way from Samuel Davis. I'm going to put that on the screen here in a second after we get done with chatting with Cole. I see my guy, Frugal Freddy, out there. Appreciate you for jumping in the chat as well. Everybody who's watching the stream, this is the first one, guys. We got 2 founders up here willing to take the dive, and we appreciate these founders for taking the dive. All right, Cole, you ready for me?
Yeah.
Okay. So you said at the end of the day, the product that you're really selling is giving good, right? Giving yourself every month a little bit of good. Wouldn't it, because most of the presentation felt very much like the good you were doing was for the charity. From a value proposition standpoint, is this more so I'm buying products and then 10% goes to the charity, if you get what I'm saying? Meaning I'm buying a box, these are my subscription, and oh, by the way, 10% or 20% go to the charity. Because that's eventually what goes to them.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm having trouble understanding your question. So
Tom's.
Yes.
When I go to Tom's, I buy a pair of shoes. The byproduct of that purchase is that somebody else gets a pair of shoes, right? That's the value proposition.
Yeah.
You give yourself a little bit of good, but you do good as well. From the presentation, it felt very much, for the longest time, I was going along like, oh my God, I'm doing so much good for the charity. And then come to find out, only 10 to 20% goes to the charity.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't I just send the $59.99 directly to the people I want to support?
Yeah. So that a large portion of it is also going to our internal mission. So we want to grow our organization so that we're able to mentor, educate, and hire people in recovery. I'm going to just be straight up with you about like my pitch deck and everything. Like there are different moving pieces, and I am trying to figure out a way to communicate that to like VCs and accelerators to where it makes sense in a pitch deck. So that's kind of where that flow in is missing there. But I want to be able to eventually have our own nonprofit side internally as well. And I want to be able to be a meaningful employer where we're giving people a place where they can feel good and come to work and be making impact. But also internally, I want to have a whole workforce program where I'm hiring people in recovery. I worked in the SUD field for a little while, and which is substance use disorders. And so many of these work programs for people in recovery out of prison are like working warehouses, or you can go work in a restaurant, or but I want people to learn the skills that they want and tailor a program for people to where they can figure out what their passions are and come to work and learn about themselves and give back to these causes and figure out how we can increase that impact internally as well. So.
Yeah, just saying a short, concise answer to that question, because it's going to come up, especially when you're calling people out for being ethical, right? So one of the things that you said is hey, these CEOs are making tons and tons of money, but my $59.99 eventually only 10 to 20% end up in the hands of the charities themselves. I think just having a quick rebuttal, right?
Yeah.
For why your company is the way it is and why that still makes sense and is still congruent with the mission of giving good both to yourself and to the mission of some of these startups. But Jeff, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Can I say something really, really quick, Jeff? Just because I just want to, I don't want to forget this, but Cole, you actually have that answer. You're giving out free events to the small businesses to come participate and bring impact to the community. So that could be one thing, you hosting all of these quote unquote free events to, educate and empower. It's going to take money to do that. You have to rent out the venues. You're going to have to hire help. You're going to have to have setup, any event without food is going to be terrible, just letting you know now. So those are ways that you could say that the box is actually, being put back into the operational point, because I will tell you, as a person that has a small business, the one thing that irritates me most is the high vendor fees, right? You're a small business and the vendor fees can be as much as $500 for 2 hours, right? So then you think about the revenue of it all. So if you're doing free vendor events, that's going to be super, super impactful in the community for small businesses. It'll bring more exposure, and it really directly aligns with your mission of empowering and growing the community impact. So that's a spin on how you can say that.
Definitely. Thank you for that. Seriously.
You already got it. I didn't give you nothing. I just gave it back.
Yeah.
Yes, I gave it back.
Go.
To also give a more concise answer, if it's 50% profit margin, and then if I'm donating between 10 and 20% based on their subscription type, that's taking me to 60 to 65, 70% right there. And then I have operational expenses just to grow the organization and to be able to increase it. And those profit margins are going to decrease eventually over time, which means our impact numbers will grow. It's just, this is launching, and to be able to scale it to where we can make that impact, I have to have those profit margins, or I have to have those impact numbers a little bit smaller at the beginning. So.
Yeah, Jeff, go ahead, hit them.
Yeah, I was actually going to step in and help Cole answer your question, Elio. I think the difference between what Cole is building and what Tom is doing is Cole is giving the money to the nonprofits who have their own unique solutions or they're addressing, versus Tom saying, we already know what we're going to do. A percentage of this profit is going towards another pair of shoes to somebody else. So I think that the business model there is different, because now this is a two-sided marketplace. So he's helping nonprofits raise funds and then also help you get the box of goodies. Versus Tom is we already have a mission. This is where the money is going. So I think that is a huge difference between what Tom's the company is doing versus what Cole is doing.
All right, I'm the Gordon Ramsay here, okay? This is Hell's Kitchen, people. All right, so Cole, let's keep this conversation going. Let's talk about giving by Americans as it stands in this economy. Everybody's predicting that there's going to be a recession around the corner. You have a business that's based on giving, right? If you look at it from one angle, but the other angle is that it's also a business based on consuming. These are products people otherwise buy for themselves. So how are you positioning this value proposition? Because if I go too far into my charitable bag, right now I'm looking at an Axios article that shows that Americans on average only give 1.7% of their disposable income. So how are you thinking from a branding? I know Jay's going to love this, Miss Branding Marketing. Cole, you're going to love this, Mr. Marketer himself. How are you positioning this in my disposable category? Am I categorizing this as a write-off, a true write-off, where that $59.99 goes on my taxes as a charitable donation? Or am I replacing some disposable spending I'm doing now because I am indeed getting products every month? How am I classifying this in my spending?
Yeah, so I mean, reality is you're not giving, you're receiving something. we are making people feel good and giving them a product. They're buying a product from us that is improving their mental health and makes them feel better. The reality is, like, in these moments of crisis as a country, like, we need more. Like, during COVID, mental health, like, rates went up. We thought we would stop spending, and people, like, we just started spending from home. The reality is, like, that we're just giving people a product, and if they, like, we're giving them a way to give directly to causes that are making impact, versus, like, if I'm just rounding up at the grocery store, where's it actually going to? So they're actually seeing how the change is being made, where their money is going to. Like, we're going to be showcasing that on our app. Like, every month that they're on there, we're showing where their money is going to and what is being done with it, and having that transparency, because that's where change is. That's where change is all about. So
I have a question, and I'm not trying to change your business model, but I'm just thinking about the two things that you said. So you have like a business to business, right, where you're selling to actual organizations, and then you have another one where you say you plan on going direct to consumer with your subscriptions, right? So if you were to sell, let's say, to Experience Columbus, that works with all the big conventions, the big like conferences that come into Columbus, and instead of trying to do all the legwork yourself, become a partner with them and then sell swag boxes to every company that comes into Columbus around their items based off of your companies that donate. So example, you have this did you say party animal? Well, like, for example, like 2 weeks ago, I think that there was like the National Zoo, every zoo in America was in like the actual convention center, right? So if you would have had that swag kit and branded it for them, and then they would have allowed, like, had like maybe a sheet where the actual people can come and say, I want a portion of the funds to go to this organization, and the same model on your website, right? So like, I go in, I pick a cause, I pick a box based on that cause and know that a certain percentage is going to that business. Is that kind of what you're doing, or is that where you're going, or?
no, so we can be a marketing tool for companies to put their products in our boxes, but I never want to be a swag company. I worked on a subscription box. I ended up pivoting to that because they thought it was too much work, and I know that pain point as a startup, seeing how these subscription boxes can burn out sometimes. But like, at the root of what I do, I'm an artist. I am each box is a piece of art, and I want to tell these stories in a creative way, of these organizations, and that's my focus. Is I want to give unique experiences in these products or in these boxes that tell stories, and that's why I'm here. So, but there are so many swag companies out there with their own models of doing things, but
well, not necessarily like a swag kit where you would change at the item and the business model, but maybe the box, like, right? Like the actual box, right? Like, that's just a simple like logo print on the box, but the box is the same. The box is the same, and you give it to the companies and say, these are the boxes that I have, right? Because I think that mental health in a lot of like big corporations, especially that have essential workers, they have mental health awareness days. Like, for example, I worked at Kellogg, and we had a mental health awareness day, and there were certain departments that were actually allotted certain funds to do their mental health, right? So if you went to a Kellogg and you said, hey, I have these 7 boxes, each box represents a different cause in mental health. Is this something that you would like to do for your mental health awareness? And then you allow your employees to pick out of the organizations that I partner with and work with to donate. Like, if you choose this box, then they're going to go with this. And you give them 3 options based off of your business model. I'm just saying, brand the box. You're not like a whole swag kit, and that's when you can utilize someone like the Columbus Visitor Bureau, right? They have all the conventions. They have all the big people. You'll know who's coming into town. You'll tell them, hey, I got 7 boxes. I want to pitch these boxes to these conventions. Let them choose ahead of time. And then people just pick it up because it's a mental health. You know what I mean? And then you can be a speaker, right? You could be a speaker and you could talk about the mental health. So you create a whole nother stream of revenue as being an engagement speaker.
I mean, and by doing that, like, I'm accessing way more customers, like at a larger rate.
And
So
you're hitting people in different markets, tourists, right? And you want to, that's how you want to get. You want to get beyond Columbus. So you have a convention and you got people from all over the country working for this one company. And I mean, I'm sure with the convention center, there's nonprofits that come from out of state that come to the convention center to have their big national sales meeting or mid managers meeting or whatever the case may be. And the thing about it is, it's not about swag to their company. It's about swag to mental health and then bringing awareness. And if they don't really get it, you say, well, how about this? I also do speaking engagements. I can be a speaker and I can explain what this box is for a nominal fee. And then, Jay.
Look at Jay. Look at Jay. Are you positioning for a co-host spot on the 614 Startups Open Mic Night? Listen.
I already told you we should have been a co-host, but you thought it was fun.
Chill. Yeah. All right. So Cole, congratulations, man. Great job. Appreciate Jay and Cole for pitching tonight. Guys, I appreciate all of you for being here. Big shout out to our LinkedIn watcher, Talea M. She was the one who commented and shared that, hey, as a person with mental health, she loves the product. She loves what you're doing. She's also participated in Sea Change, so that's absolutely wonderful. But I do have a question for Jay. It's been a question that Samuel Davis asked earlier in the stream. So Samuel is a big follower of 614 Startups. Appreciate you, Samuel. Is there an opportunity to obtain equity? My man Samuel's trying to get a piece. Let's talk about that.
No, unfortunately, no.
No, hold on. Let's talk about it. No equity is free money out here?
You see, I'll be totally honest. As a global strategist, as somebody with a background in finance, I have been afforded great discernment when it comes to finances, and we're not in need of quote unquote a loan per se, as much as we are in need of a manufacturing expert. If there's anybody watching, I need a manufacturing consultant specifically for organic ingredients within the pet industry. Just to give Samuel a little bit more information about what I'm looking for in manufacturing. A lot of people have asked me about co-packers. A lot of people ask me outsourcing my manufacturer. Again, I use 100% organic ingredients. So because of that, because of my recipe formula, I have not found one supplier that carries all of the ingredients. Like if I could find one supplier that is like certified to be organic and will dehydrate and not bake the treats, that is the relationship that would be worth a investment to me. Just because if I go to a manufacturer, I'm going to have to get almost like 500 pounds because they don't carry those ingredients. And to make it profitable for them, they would have to shut down a whole line and I would need to be able to order a freight load. So again, the financial component is not the problem, right? The component is like, are we ready? Is that something we want to do? Does it make sense at this point of the business, or do we want to focus on local partnerships?
I'm confused. She kept saying Jeff with the bag, Jeff with the money, Jeff with the. Now she doesn't want any money. She wants a manufacturer. What are we doing?
I actually
doing, Jeff?
I actually have a question.
Jeff, talk to me, man. Talk to me.
Right, Jeff heard about the money. His whole painting fell off the wall. Everything. It was like, oh Lord, now she asking for money, and he could turn the camera off. Jeff the left, came back. Jeff, you with us? You passing out a little change or?
I thought I misheard for a second.
Welcome to Open Mic Night, people. You're watching Open Mic Night. Go ahead, Jeff.
I thought I misheard for a second, so I'm glad, Elio, you chimed in there, because the last time I thought I heard you say you were looking to raise capital, you're looking for money, and then now you're like, no, you're looking for money.
Yeah, just for the manufacturing, but I'm not giving up equity for the capital. That's the problem. I will give you a rate of return, but I'm not giving up equity in my company. But I'll give you a rate of return, but it also has to be coming with a manufacturing supply chain process. Like me getting a machine, again, like you said about the inclusion grant. So there was another grant from the manufacturing. It starts with MEP. You spend 50, they give you 25,000. It's not about money, right? Like you can go out here and get a loan, you can purchase the equipment. The problem is it's an intermediate step, right? Like, yes, it will help me make a higher capacity. It will definitely allow me to get local partnerships. But when it comes to a Sam's Club, I have 3 products, 1 machine, right? And then the cleaning for cross-contamination, making sure there's, I use peanuts, I use chicken, I use beef. So I have to be able, it would have to be significant. It can't be, I'm going to give you a $25,000 machine for 20% of equity. That's not advantageous for me right now. What's advantageous is I have the expertise. I know exactly what you need to do with manufacturing. I can find you a manufacturer. Then I can actually say, okay, well, how much will that cost me, right? Because 500 pounds of all of the ingredients that I use across 3 products, that's going to be significant. The machine is not. So it would have to be a full customer-centric 360 plan on how we're going to get the manufacturing, how we're going to build up, how we're going to scale up, and be almost like a on-site consultant for me to really think that it's going to be well-rounded. Just throwing money at me, not for equity.
So I appreciate the clarity. That makes so much sense. Would you be willing to give equity if a manufacturing expert comes with capital?
He would have to hit all verticals. If you hit all verticals in my company, products, I'm being real because I'm being real with y'all because I want y'all to remember that I said this. This company gonna take off, and I don't want to look back on a bad Shark Tank deal and be like, "Dang, I gave him 20%. He gave me 50,000." You know what I mean? Like I'm not that girl. So you're gonna have to hit every single vertical for equity. Like we really should stop talking about equity because that's really off the table. You would have to come with something so. Like, I'm going to get you in the store tomorrow. I'm about all the machines. I'm going to hire you a whole team. Like, it would have to be like you're coming in almost as a business partner to me to get equity. An investor? No, because I'm not having problem finding access to capital. It's the expertise. It's like the team development. It's the economic growth of the company, right? And then that's another thing. Like, we're talking about treats, but I have accessories. I have a matching apparel. I have interactive workshops. What about those verticals, right? If I'm spending all my time working a machine, who's going to teach the classes? So you can't come in and just say, I only want to do this part of the business for 20% of the entire business, right? Because it's not broken up like that. They're not subsidiaries. They're all under one umbrella. So the revenue is all generating in one pot. So you can't, I'm not willing to diversify and give you equity when you're only contributing to 25% of the business. You get what I mean?
Sounds good.
No, I don't know what you mean, Jay. I do not know what you mean.
Do you got some money? Do you got some money, Eli? I was talking to Jeff. Jeff had the bag.
I know Samuel, and I'm not speaking for him, but I think he was serious about
Jeff and Cole are being nice. I don't know what you mean.
Further,
no equity? No, I know long term. You see, the whole point is we're trying to get long term value. Right, a short-term ROI we could probably find in other means. Exactly. And we're investing in Paul Gone Good is because we see the vision, right? We see a global brand.
It's a part of the entire vision because the machine. Trust me, super helpful. I wouldn't lie to you; it would be super helpful. But then again, I have to think about my interactive workshops, right? Because it takes manpower to work that machine. So
all right, here go. It's gonna get a little bit messy on open mic night. All right, here's what my man Samuel Davis is saying. He said, "Come on, let's go to GFS. Let's do the intro." All right, Samuel, listen, hook up with her on LinkedIn. Jay is serious about growing Paul Gone Good. What I'm hearing is if the deal makes sense,
the deal has to make sense. All right, it has to I'll be very clear. Let me be as crystal clear as possible so there's no miscommunication. If you can hit all verticals, not the polished street line, you got to hit all verticals, come with some type of level of consultancy, we can have a conversation. If you just have a piece, I want to be on this side, I want to be on that side, give me your money and I'll give you a little rate of return. And
I'm dying laughing because we were at Pitch Columbus. Remember this, Jeff? Last Pitch Columbus. She came up to me after the thing, and it was. Listen, Jay, we love you. You got to come back for another open mic night. Cole, you got to come back. You got to tell all your friends that this is a great time, guys. We want to give every startup founder, okay? If you just follow these simple rules, you too can be on open mic night. and you could face, the Black Gordon Ramsay right here and take these tough questions while having a great time with some great people. So I'll give you guys a chance to give us your final comments. We're going to wrap this thing up. We'll go around the horn. We'll start with Cole and we'll end with me, but we'll go Cole, Jay, and then Jeff, and then I'll close us out. Cole, give us your final word, man.
Look, I just want to say, Jay, like, we have no doubt. We have no doubt. Like,
we believe.
not a single doubt. That's all I got.
No,
Thank you guys for having me. I will this was just a learning experience for me. Honestly, like, I came in with it. So I appreciate, like, this was Shark Tank, local Shark Tank.
yes.
So thank you for letting me be a part of it. So I know how to, like, improve my pitch. So.
Well, I would like to say thank you for finally having me on 614 Startups, the prestigious pitch contest of all the startups in Columbus. I have literally been super excited, super eager to be here today. I have definitely given Elio a hard time at every one of his events. I'm so glad he reached out to me and let me be a part of this amazing thing in our community, to bring it to LinkedIn, to YouTube, hopefully through all the comical stuff today that somebody did learn. They were educated and they were empowered by, our story, how we kind of started into entrepreneurship and how we're truly trying to make an impact into the community. Again, if you guys want to invest, hit all 4 verticals, but I am open for free money at any given time. Shop Pogon Good. We feed and treat your dog like family.
Well, tonight was great. Elio, thank you so much for the invitation. Cole, great job on what you're building. Jay, awesome work you're doing as well. Feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Once again, my name is Jeff Siao. Nationwide Ventures, we are looking at founders building across the insurance and financial services value chain. If you know anyone building, if you know any solutions I should take a look at. I personally love misunderstood industries or overlooked founders, the founders that don't fit the criteria that investors give capital to. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn, send me a message. I do my best to respond to all messages, and I look forward to connecting with all of you. Once again, thank you, Elio. Tonight was such a fun night.
Yeah, man, business doesn't have to be so serious, even though we're talking serious business. Guys, this is the place for entrepreneurs. This is 614 Startups. We love to have a good time. Listen, I love you guys, man. I couldn't have done this without you. You guys made this so much fun. And for all you people out there who are watching, you're like, listen, I don't know if I should go on there. I don't know if this is the right fit for me. If you're getting nervous about this thing, the only way you're going to get over that nervousness is by doing things like this. Practice doesn't necessarily make perfect. It just makes you better. It helps you to overcome those fears. And business is a game that you cannot be fearful in, okay? So I'll put the rules back up. All of you guys should be following us.
Yeah.
Yes.
I gotta do my shameless plug real quick. Sorry, I didn't even throw that in there. So, guys, our Instagram is GiveGoodBox, and my name is Cole Still. You can hit me up on LinkedIn. So.
Yo,
we're gonna have to work on the Instagram handle. Hold on, come on now. We gotta turn
we can't let that slide. We can't let that slide.
You should have started off with that. That was a okay. There's ladies on the call, Cole.
So $59.99. What is your what?
Maybe I should keep it. Maybe
you gotta shout out that handle again. No way. What is your handle?
It's at GiveGoodBox. Like,
yo, Carl, you're crazy.
Yo,
man.
that is like
follow 614 Startups on all platforms. Definitely follow Cole and be careful when you type in that handle, man. You never know what might come up. All right, folks. Until next time. Peace. All right, y'all.